Donald Trump declares all good in Iran, saying that the war is pretty much already won and victory laps are now taking place over in the White House. But here is the problem. Not only is this war not over, and why is Donald Trump saying this now? We're going to get into all that here in a second, but it is even worse than expected because there is economic chaos taking place. There is war chaos taking place all over the Middle East now. You have China getting in the fray, you have Russia getting in the fray, and you have a new supreme leader in Iran who the United States and Israel just killed, his mother, his father, his wife, and their child, and he has vowed that this war will not end until there is no more Israel and until there is no more U.S. bases in the Middle East. So let's get into all of it right now. First, we're getting news out of Egypt that Israel has just cut off all of its gas going to Egypt. Now, Egypt, not too long ago, just signed a multi-billion-dollar deal with Israel to be their sole supplier of gas. Now, this is a big red herring here because if you're putting all of your eggs into one basket, that means that they now have control over your entire economy. And guess what just happened? Israel just declared to Egypt that they would no longer be providing that gas that Egypt has already paid for. This has Egypt scrambling, trying to figure out what they're going to do to make up for the lack of gas supplies, which could bring their entire economy to a screeching halt. This could also lead to war, as you now have Egypt piling tanks and all kinds of armament in the Sinai Peninsula, which according to their peace treaty, neither side is supposed to be doing. So could we see Egypt now entering the fray against Israel? Well, it remains to be seen. I, for one, think that it would be long overdue. The cancer in the Middle East needs to be taken out, and we all know who that cancer is. They have the little hats on the back of their heads, and they wear or they fly that blue and white flag with the pentagram star on it. Now, for another piece of news, Donald Trump has told CBS News that the war is all but won and that we could see an end to it any day now. Why is he saying this? Is it because the war is won? No. Iran has flat out said that there will be no ceasefire, there will be no negotiations because the United States and Israel's aggression has gone beyond all bounds and they want revenge. They want their bloodlust and they want it fulfilled now. So you have Donald Trump saying this, and the reason really that he's saying it is because oil just hit over $120 a barrel. Affordability is now going to be the calling card of Democrats in the midterms. And you also have experts coming out and saying that our defensive systems, like the Patriot missiles that we have all across the Middle East, are only 4 to 7 days of stock remaining, which means after that, our bases, our troops are going to be sitting ducks for Israeli ballistic missiles and drones. Now, the other thing is we have actually been moving assets out of South Korea, which makes South Korea more vulnerable to an attack from North Korea in order to try and make up for the shortfall in the Middle East. But we've already expended what we moved out of South Korea. We are trying to now buy back some of our stock that we sold to Ukraine or gave to Ukraine. But that's not even going to be enough because of the fact that Iran can still produce hundreds of these ballistic missiles and thousands of these drones en masse every single month. We simply cannot defend against it. And that means that the United States is going to lose this war. This could be the biggest bloody nose that the United States has received since the Vietnam War. So now you have basically two options. The off-ramp, which is what Donald Trump is trying to do now, cut his losses, declare victory, act like he's the hero of the world, and you're leaving Iran in even a stronger place than before because national unity is an all-time high right now in Iran. You have a new hardliner, Grand Ayatollah, who is the supreme leader of that country, who has vowed vengeance, and you haven't been able to degrade either their nuclear capabilities or their ballistic or drone capabilities. All you've done is expended billions of dollars of U.S. taxpayer money, as well as U.S. service personnel's lives, and you've killed a bunch of innocent people in the country of Iran. You've also completely wreaked havoc with your petrodollar client states in the Middle East, like the UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, and Saudi Arabia. All now, their economies are absolutely reeling because they can't export and they're having to cut down and shut down entire production facilities. Now, at the same time, you have the United States facing a massive recession looming if this does not get under control fast enough, because our economy is already on the brink of a recession. It's been on the brink of a major recession for the past couple of years. In fact, it's been one pretty much ever since COVID started. And one big hit to our economy, like what this is going to do with oil prices going through the roof, reaching as much as $150 to $200 a barrel, could sink our economy into disaster zone. Now, we're already at 120. Listen, only a month ago, we were at $65 a barrel for gas or for oil. Now we're at 120 as of today, and that is only going to continue to rise. We could see $200 a barrel, $250 a barrel, $300 a barrel. And guess what that would do? That would shut down all imports because it would just be too expensive and nobody would have money to buy anything anyway. We could see a great recession or even a depression right here in the United States. And that is the biggest worry that this war is going to create. Donald Trump is the most chaotic president in the history of the United States. He does not know what he's doing. He has a bunch of sycophants around him who just want to cause war, havoc, and mayhem and be damned with the consequences. And that is putting everybody in the world in grave jeopardy. Our stature as a leader in the world has crumbled and is at the lowest point it has ever been. People now look at Donald Trump like 1940s Germany with Hitler. They are all afraid of what this guy is going to do next, and we are losing allies left and right. Guys, stay tuned, stay safe, stay free, subscribe for more.